sports out. Angels face the Cubs. Yesterday, Anthony Rendon popped his first home run in an Angels uniform in a loss to the White Sox. Afterwards, he talked about that tough Halos lineup.
We have 3 or 4 more dangerous hitters right behind us, and even up and down our lineup, you saw Simba today. I think he was in the 9-hole, and he got his stuff with a big hit. So I think we're going to do some damage.
College basketball, San Diego State number 5, UCLA number 27 in the newest media basketball rankings. Coaches poll might come out later today. The coronavirus prompting some American pros playing in places like China to return home, like former Wizards player Jason Randall, who wants to play for Golden State. From the Rush Tax 855 IRS Call Sports Desk, Randy Trudeau, KMX 1070 News Radio.
If you're seeing some smoke in Canyon Country this morning, Briggs Road, apparently there's a little brush fire there. We're checking on that. We'll have more coming up.
9:55, your traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5 with Jennifer York.
We have a lot of countdowns. I'm going to hit that off first. The westbound side of the 10. This is at the Overland off-ramp. They're doing tree trimming, so they shut it down. That's why your westbound 10 is so backed up there. And then we've had Caltrans on the north 110 to the north 101. That transition road is shut down. So that's why your north 110 is heavy. I would say starting your Florence, but it's really also affecting your eastbound 10. A lot of folks transition from the east 10 to the north 110, and that's all backed up. So east 10 is now heavy from La Brea. And then we have a Caltrans sleeper train on the northbound side of the 5. And I think it's just north of the 2 now. It's slowly moving northbound. That's why it's in the left lane. That's why you got to back up there on the Golden State. Take the north 101 if you can to get into the valley. I know it's a little heavy, but it's better than that northbound 5. 2 new things. Westbound 91 at Pioneer. We have a new 2-car crash in the left lane. West 91 at Pioneer with a backup there for about 2 miles in Carbonita. And a new crash 210 westbound Myrtle. An overturned car. 3 other cars involved. This is the carpool lane that is blocked, and the man apparently trapped in the car. 210 west at Myrtle with a backup already from the 605. Or actually, Porsche 1005 with more traffic reports more often on Jennifer York and the Toyota Glendora 24-hour traffic center. KMX 1070 News Radio.
Warm but windy today, back into the mid-70s, but the wind advisory is up until noon tomorrow. Currently downtown LA, it's now 62, and in Long Beach, it is 56 degrees.
Supervisors in Orange County holding an emergency meeting today to talk about how to protect first responders from coronavirus. A lot going on with coronavirus developments today. We'll tell you more coming up in minutes. It's 9:57.
Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's is your ammo headquarters, and we will not be undersold. We've got the area's largest selection at the very best everyday prices, and you'll save even more when you buy in bulk. Come in now and load up on the best deals on handgun, rifle, rimfire, and shot shell ammo. When you think ammo, think Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Shop in one of our hundreds of stores across the country or online at BassPro.com and Cabela's.com. Your adventure starts here.
So you never snooze worthy Brexit? America's changing the Brexit game for good. Introducing what's going to be America's favorite Brexit. A real few of my favorite because holy honey butter chicken biscuit, once you get your hands on Wendy's breakfast favorites, like the breakfast baconator, oh my frosty, you know good. You'll never want to do mornings without it. Get up and get to Wendy's and try your new favorite today. You up for this?
The following is a paid political announcement.
For a supervisor, the choice is clear. Herb Wesson. Herb Wesson has the record on jobs and the economy, on reducing traffic congestion, and transitioning to a green transportation plan. Herb Wesson is a fighter for social justice and equal opportunity for all. Herb Wesson believes everyone deserves to live in a safe, affordable home. His own family's experience with the tragedy of homelessness has made Herb Wesson into a passionate crusader to end our housing crisis now. Herb Wesson is endorsed by all of his city council colleagues, by Mayor Eric Garcetti, Supervisors Catherine Barger and Janet Hall, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, State Senator Maria Elena Durazo, the Los Angeles Sentinel, teachers, firefighters, and carpenters. On March 3rd, Herb Wesson is our community's choice for supervisor. Ad paid for by Working Families for Herb Wesson for Supervisor 2020. Sponsored by Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters. Committee major funding from Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters. Not authorized by a candidate or a committee controlled by a candidate.
I'm Matt Mattern, a Republican running for president. I'm challenging Donald Trump because he's failed as a leader on the environment, healthcare, homelessness, and the deficit. We need a president who will address the issue of homelessness. My plan is to give $10,000 per year to any family or individual who will take a homeless person into their home to help end this crisis in a humane and fiscally responsible way. I'm Matt Mattern, and I'm asking for your vote to send a message that Donald Trump has failed the country. I'm Matt Mattern, a Republican candidate for president. I approve this advertisement. This message is paid for by Mattern 2020.
The news you need from the station you trust. Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station. This is KNX-HD, KRTH-HD2, Los Angeles. KNX 1070 News Radio, a radio.com station. Depend on us.
Coming up, the top local story.
Orange County supervisors in emergency session talking coronavirus.
Latest on the claim by protesters for Black Lives Matter that they were
With 2 coronavirus deaths in Washington state, officials are centering on a nursing home outside Seattle. And White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy tells us
the president meets this afternoon with drug makers, a previously scheduled meeting that was meant to focus on lowering drug prices. Mr. Trump says he'll push the manufacturers to work quickly to develop a coronavirus vaccine. The White House briefing room will also be the setting for a late afternoon news conference featuring Vice President Pence and Dr. Deborah Birx, who's helping to coordinate the White House virus response.
it's a final push for the Democratic presidential candidates a day before Super Tuesday voting. CBS News Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett.
California and Texas, they're the biggest prizes, but also Democrats are going to be very focused on who can carry a place like North Carolina and Virginia. 14 states tomorrow, but remember, no one is going to emerge from Super Tuesday with a lock on the nomination.
The Supreme Court said today it would take up a challenge to Obamacare decision after the election. 2 days after the U.S. signed a historic agreement with the Taliban, CBS's Cammie McCormick reports there is a snag.
The Taliban now says it won't participate in Afghan-to-Afghan talks until 5,000 of its prisoners are released. That's something Afghan President Ghani is now resisting. These talks were the next step in the peace process and another step toward bringing U.S. forces home.
Well, President Trump took to Twitter today to praise former General Electric CEO Jack Welch, who has died at 84. CBS's Diane King Hall.
He earned the nickname Manager of the Century in 1999, but he had another nickname. Neutron Jack for slashing thousands of jobs. He retired in 2001.
Welch spent his later years as a corporate leadership guru. He wrote several books. The government says today most American adults should be tested for hepatitis C, the liver-damaging virus that can fester in the body for decades. 7 years ago, officials urged all baby boomers to get a one-time test because of increased risk. Wall Street right now, a comeback day. The Dow is up 788 points. This is CBS News.
Crystal, the world's most awarded luxury cruise line. Visit crystalcruises.com today to plan your next global adventure. Crystal, where luxury is personal.
This is Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. Good Monday morning, everyone. I'm Chris Stevens. It is our top local story now at 10:03. Emergency meeting underway in Santa Ana. DOC supervisors want to make sure that first responders and others in the medical field know what to do when they encounter patients with the coronavirus. We have in-depth team coverage. John Baird live for us in Santa Ana now with more.
I talked to Supervisor Andrew Doe a short time ago, who tells me he knows that the county has made preparations for this, but he doesn't know if they go far enough to protect everybody in the way they should. He says that people can have coronavirus, not know they're infected, and infect a lot of other people before anyone knows they're even infected with the disease. So he wants to protect the workers, the frontline workers, the paramedics, the doctors, and all other medical personnel as they try to deal with this. So they're taking action today here at the Board of Supervisors to put protocols in place to help minimize the spread of this disease. Reporting live in Santa Ana, John Baird, KNX 1070 News Radio.
A Santa Clarita man who became infected with coronavirus on board that cruise ship in Japan says he's feeling fine now. Carl Goldman has been in quarantine in Omaha, Nebraska for the last 2 weeks. He tells MSNBC he had a severe fever for the first 10 hours, and since then, almost all symptoms have gone except for a lingering cough.
On a 1 to 10, I'm about a 2.
those, all 3 of those have to come out negative, and all 3 of those need to be negative 3 days in a row.
His wife Jerry was isolated in Nebraska as well, although she never caught the virus and has repeatedly tested negative for it. She will be released from quarantine today and head home to Santa Clarita. Keep it tuned here to KNX for the very latest on the coronavirus crisis. We have continuing in-depth team coverage. We have more as well on our website, knx1070.com. Civil rights leaders calling for the arrest of the LA District Attorney's husband. We'll tell you more about that live report coming up in less than 2 minutes. 10:05 now on KNX to the freeways. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. Here's Tom Tran.
We have a SIG alert happening westbound side of the 10 just before Villa Verde. A stalled big rig blocking the right lane. And a SIG alert means it's going to be there for at least a half an hour before they can clear that lane, that westbound San Bernardino freeway. A little slow starting back at 71. We also have delays on the westbound side of the 210 at Huntington. And overturned cars blocking the carpool lane. Looks like they can get this up hopefully within the next half hour. So SIG alert has not been issued here, but the backup starts at the 6:05. It's solid over towards Huntington. I recommend exiting off the 210 at the 6:05. Use Huntington Drive going westbound. You can get back onto the freeway at Huntington, and that'll put you just on the other side of the blade. The eastbound side of the 210 a little slow as you pass Santa Anita Avenue. Once you get to Myrtle, things clear up on the East 210 heading out towards the IE. Over on the 6:05 southbound, just past Valley, we've got a stalled vehicle blocking the middle lane. That's got traffic slow back at the 10. And then on the 10 at westbound at Baldwin Park Boulevard, got a crash block in the middle lane. Your next report's 10:15. More traffic reports more often. Tom Tran, KNX 1070. News Radio.
Mostly sunny skies today, windy. We're looking at highs mid-60s to lower 70s. Comfortable overnight lows mid-40s and 50s. Sunny, slightly warmer tomorrow, upper 60s and 70s for your highs. Wind advisory in effect right now through until noon tomorrow. We're talking for the San Fernando and Santa Clarita valleys, northeast winds 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusts upwards of 45 miles per hour. We'll look further ahead, tell you how the rest of your work week is shaping up weather-wise. We've got your exclusive 5-day weather forecast coming up in just a few minutes. That's at 10:15. Some temperatures right now: Pasadena 63 degrees, Ontario 58 currently, fair skies 62 degrees, downtown Los Angeles at 10:07. The LAPD now investigating an incident outside Los Angeles County District Attorney Jackie Lacey's home this morning, in which her husband apparently pulled a gun on some protesters. Let's take you live now to Granada Hills and KNX 1070's Margaret Guerrero.
The word that we've gotten from the Los Angeles Police Department is that robbery homicide detectives are taking the lead on this, but they would not go into detail about exactly what they are looking into. Now, this interaction that happened earlier this morning was caught on tape after members of Black Lives Matter rang Lacey's doorbell.
Good morning. Get off of my porch. I will shoot you. Get off of my porch.
Can you tell Jackie Lacey that we're here?
I don't care who you are.
The woman's voice in that video was Melina Abdullah. She's an organizer with Black Lives Matter in Los Angeles. She says they went to Lacey's house to get the community meeting with the DA that she says Lacey promised but never followed through on. So she told me they set up chairs, said a prayer, and then rang them bell.
They could see who we were. There were 3 of us standing on the porch. She knows who I am very well, along with the other 2 folks. We were clearly, peaceful.